What's up, guys? It's your boy Hieroglyphics back at it. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my new clip-ons from Woodcraft. If you guys haven't noticed from my last video, these things are freaking awesome, bro. It changes the whole entire feel of the bike. It changes the aesthetic. I'm on the way to the gym with my boy Nick. He's riding his GSXS 750, aka Jixis, not Jixer, Jixis 750. So yeah, the first time I saw these was back in 2021. This one guy had them on his track bike. I didn't like the way these looked initially just because this was sticking upward. And then I later realized that this plate actually comes flipped the other way, and you can either mount a 1 inch, 1.5 inch, or a 2 inch rise. If you want the lowest, most aggressive feel, you get the 1 inch rise. You flip this plate just how I have it, and then you still have enough clearance with the tank, and that's supposed to give you the most aggressive feel. They do say it's for track only, but honestly it's not that aggressive where you can't ride it on the street. If you wanted a more relaxed position, you could always flip this and either keep the 1 inch rise, the 1.5 inch rise, or the 2 inch. I was getting tired of that upright naked bike position, plus the wind was just battering me. I was even considering getting a new bike, so then I had the idea to switch up the bars and try something new. I was looking at a couple flat bars and different angled bars. Then I remembered they had the clip-ons, so I said, you know what, let me just give it a try. Maybe it feels a little better. And honestly, I don't know why I didn't do this years ago. The overall feel is sporty, as you can imagine, but at the same time it's not as uncomfortable as a typical super sport, because your butt is not super high up with your rear sets high up as well, so you still have that kind of relaxed upper body feel, just a little lower. This is actually 3 inches lower than stock. It also has less of a sweep. I'm not sure exactly how much less it has. It definitely is a little more forward than stock bars. I recently went on a 2.5 hour trip up north to Sebring, and I went with this. Didn't really get fatigued at all. I'm pretty sure on a typical super sport it would have been worse. Then again, you have fairings to protect you from the wind, so it's a trade-off. Then again, on a super sport you have fairings to protect you from the wind, so that itself is going to alleviate some of the discomfort from a long ride dealing with the wind. Nonetheless though, it's doable. You get that sporty feel that you probably would want from a naked bike. Oh man, the bike feels great. Is this something that you would want on your naked bike? I mean, it depends. That'll bring up the question of, do you want something more sporty feeling, or do you want to keep it relaxed how you typically would be with your stock setup? Personally, I think this still is a relaxed feel, but you get more out of the bike. If you just got your naked bike and you enjoy being relaxed, and let's say you moved on from super sport, maybe keep your stock bars and enjoy that position for a while. And that's the reason why I got this bike. I wanted something more comfortable, but after a while I was itching for more of a sporty feel, and this kind of lets me scratch that itch that I've been feeling. My first impressions the day that I installed them, cornering felt way better, not as awkward as with those taller, higher bars. You're able to put your arms in a more comfortable position, and it just overall increases your confidence riding. So if what you also want is to feel more comfortable and planted while you corner or while you ride in general, this is definitely something you should get. Another plus side to this is riding on the highway. Since you are leaned a little more forward and tucked down, it does help a decent amount with the wind, and that's something that you do notice right away. Man, you gotta love this Miami traffic, bro. This is why I don't go to the gym in the middle of the day. I always go early in the morning, avoid traffic, avoid packed gyms. Or if you just want to change up the look of the bike, the feel of the bike, I mean, you could just do this simple mod and it's great. One thing I do want to do eventually is get these risers a bit lowered. I feel like it's going to add a bit more front end feel and confidence. The only issue with that is if you go lower, you're going to have clearance issues with the tank. You're going to have to find some risers that are a bit more tapered forward. I've seen some setups online where these people have like two risers, a regular long one with another one that's more pushed out forward. You put those two together and it should work pretty fine. If you're thinking about getting these, I say just go for it. Honestly, it feels pretty good. All right, just got a good workout, gonna head home, have some food. Installation on these ain't too bad. You just got to take off all the controls, take off the clamp, take off the bar, put on the new plate, measure out where you're going to drill the hole on the clip-ons. These controls have a little nipple inside that lock into that hole. That way it doesn't move forward or back. Then you make sure you put it at the right spot so you have enough space for your grips. These are forgiving to install. You could always loosen up this nut right here and move it forward or back in case you make the hole a little off. If you do have full bars, wherever you drill that hole, if you want to adjust the angle, it's gonna throw off the whole angle of the bar. But overall, I really like this look. Eventually I will go a little lower with the risers. Gillis Tooling has shorter risers for this. I just don't think it's gonna fit with these lower clip-ons. Maybe I'll get the lower risers, flip this plate upward, and then it might still have clearance. These Woodcraft clip-ons were about $245 more or less. They do mention on the website that if you want to have it on the downward position how I have it now, you do need a 10mm spacer, but that's only true for the second gen MT09s. For these it fits just fine. What I'm thinking is if I get the lower riser and then add the 10mm spacer right here, maybe I'll have some tank clearance, so I'm gonna have to try that out. I called Woodcraft. Luckily they were pretty helpful on the phone. I was trying to ask the guy if I needed the 10mm spacers for this model. I noticed online that there was a bunch of people that were unsure whether you would need them for this bike or not. I spoke to him, he went over some of his older documents, and he ended up updating the website. So guys, if you do want to get this set up, don't worry about the spacers, just get the clip-ons, you can flip them. This is the 1-inch rise. This won't at work with a 1.5 or 2-inch rise because you will hit the tank. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you guys took some info from this and decided you wanted to get this for yourself. I highly recommend it. It changes the whole feel of the bike, and I wish I would have done this a long time ago. Alright, have a good one. Peace out.